It's around that time of year again when everybody and they mamas pretends to not know that half of not most of Hollywood and your favorite celebrities, and I say your favorite real loosely, isn't a certified nepotism baby. You have your OG Nepo babies like Halloween actress Jamie Lynn Curtis. Oh, y'all didn't know that? Your lesser known or new age Nepo babies like Emma Roberts, Julia Roberts' niece, Haley Baldwin, Lily Rose Depp, and WWE Simone Johnson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's daughter. Then you have people out here who you'd never even suspect were a part of the nepotism hierarchy. We've put together a little list of celebrities who you either never suspected or semi-knew used a relative's close connections.
My greatest accomplishment are these two.
To jumpstart their own careers, and trust me, some of them are a real shocker. We hope. Before we start name dropping, we definitely need to address the elephant in the room, nepotism. Specifically for Gen Z in the back who seem to have only discovered the word and idea of nepotism in recent years, what exactly is a Nepo baby? According to everyone's go-to online abundant source of information, Wikipedia defines a Nepo baby as a child or close relative of a celebrity who has succeeded in careers that are similar to their parents or that close relative. In short, I only got this far in my career because my mama is Diana Ross. Okay, maybe not exactly, but you all know what I mean. Being able to use your parents' connections to further your own career is not new by any means. It's the oldest trick in the book. Without further ado, let's finally get into our list of black Nepo babies you probably didn't realize were Nepo babies. To shake things up and cause a little ruckus in the comments, we're starting out with the one and only Lauren Kiana Kiki Palmer. A little controversial, but I mean, why not? Kiki Palmer has been acting since she was a very young child. Best known for giving us classics like Akeelah and the Bee, double dutching her tail off in Disney's Jump In, and being the best teen VP ever in Nickelodeon's True Jackson VP. On top of a lengthy list of credentials on her resume, we know Kiki for being the forever relatable, humble, and hilarious favorite cousin, but ever wonder exactly how she got into acting, singing, producing, directing, you name it? Sure. Lil Kiki did her thing at convincing label heads and casting agents to choose her by any means. If it weren't for Lil Lauren's own mother, Sharon Palmer, then the Kiki we all know and love today would be obsolete. Obviously, duh, aside from Sharon pushing Kiki through her hoo-ha to bring her into this world, Kiki got the urge to become an entertainer thanks to her mom, Sharon, for pushing her into the arts. Sharon Palmer, a former musician herself, met Kiki's father, Larry, while the two of them attended drama school. Despite Kiki always having an itch for the entertainment industry, Sharon utilized her connections and resources to aid her child who was eager to audition and never backed down from any challenges. Don't get it twisted. Kiki and her mama were far from rich. Stemming from a low-income background in the rurals of Chicago, Sharon set out to give her kids something that the city's tough environment was bound to bind them to: a better life. And did. Everybody say thank you, Sharon. This next one is more evident, maybe. Symphonique got her breakout role in 2012 on Nickelodeon's How to Rock. It may have lasted for all of 15 seconds, but Symphonique did her big one. Incorporating her vocal talents with her acting talents, How to Rock showcased all of Symphonique's capabilities, and so did her dad, No Limits Percy Miller, or Master P, who did his best at taking his kids, well, the ICDC advocate and biracial Symphonique along with him for the journey. But we won't get too much into that right now. Growing up in NOLA, Symphonique, the child of an unknown woman whom we know, but ain't trying to get straight, being the daughter of a hip-hop icon and the sister of Romeo Miller, needless to say, Symphonique used all of her connections to her likings. Actress, comedian, singer, and someone who more than well deserves all of her success despite being linked to Minnie Riperton, Maya Rudolph is one of those Nepo babies that you can't help but like, at least for me anyway. For 7 years, she was a part of the SNL lineup and has since acted in numerous films and television shows like the comedy film 50 First Dates, Grown Ups, Bridesmaids, and has voice acted in films like the Angry Birds movie, the Emoji Movie, Luca, the hit animated Netflix series Big Mouth, and hella more. Maya's resume expands miles. I'm talking a year around the sun and then some. On top of winning a ton of prestigious awards for her work, it's without question that it helped that her parents were Loving You singer Minnie Riperton and composer Richard Rudolph. Named after his super producer godfather Quincy Jones, Quincy Brown is the love child of receptionist turned model Kim Porter and night and day singer Al B. Shore, and got an even bigger advantage when Kim hopped to the next big thing over at Uptown Records back in the day. Entangling with Sean Diddy Honey Puff Love Combs served Miss Porter real well, because in Puff she'd secure a rich daddy for her oldest son. Now an accomplished actor, you've probably seen Quincy star alongside Ryan Destiny in the Fox hit musical drama Star, and alongside Kat Graham in Netflix's The Holiday Calendar.
The music is now coming full-fledged.
As of late, the Purple Phantom has been dabbing into the music side of things, dropping his rendition of his bio dad's 80s hit Night and Day. His humbleness, along with being an amazing big brother to all of his siblings, Quincy has taken the term Nepo baby with stride, as he should. Being physically attractive with a kind personality surely helps him get ahead of whatever it is he decides to do next. Singing all those love songs made him finally tie the knot years later, and from that union, a very beautiful, talented, and all-around entertainer. If Sequoia Winter doesn't ring a bell, then perhaps her famous Poppy will. 1/4 of the legendary group Jodeci, it was bound for JoJo Haley to have somebody out of all those kids to take full advantage of his celebrity status, and Sequoia did just that. These days you can catch her on WeTV's Growing Up Hip Hop, where she infamously gets into beef with other cast members, like Stevie J's unruly daughter, DJ Luke's daughter, and more who don't have a real issue with Sequoia for real. Can someone say jealousy? Good reason too. She's gorgeous and kind and honest. How can you not like her? But I'll leave that up for y'all to decide. Her singles, LA Baby and In Their Place, can be found on their respective streaming platforms like Spotify and YouTube. A pro footballer before cracking into the acting side of things, it wasn't necessarily difficult for this next Nepo baby to get his breakout role. A starring role in HBO's original series Ballers alongside Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. John David Washington is the son of none other than Mr. King Kong ain't got ish on me, the one and only Denzel Washington. John ultimately decided to follow in his famous daddy's footsteps and has appeared in numerous films, working with the best of the best. Raised in Toluca Lake, California, Denzel's oldest son attended Morehouse College, where he'd begin his professional football career before diving into his other hobby of acting. At the age of just 7, John David, yes, that's his full name, and no, David is not his middle name, kinda, appeared as a student in a classroom for Spike Lee's Malcolm X, which also starred his dad Denzel. Who doesn't love a father-son duo? Since then, John David has gone on to star alongside Zendaya in Netflix's Malcolm and Marie, Spike Lee's Black Klansman, and more. Another growing up hip-hop senior at this point, fiery yet kind-spirited, earthy and artsy, Briana Latrice can come across real strong upon first being introduced to the freckle-faced beauty. However, she appears to be a fan favorite amongst GUHH viewers. When she's not focusing on her crafts and using paint and art as a fun, habitual form of escapism in the absolute best way possible, Briana Latrice is busy standing up for her friends and seeking her stepmom's, Mary J. Blige's, advice and support. Yeah, y'all heard correctly. When Briana was just 12, her bio mom kicked her out of the house for being slick at the mouth and just not seeing eye to eye. Mind you, Brianna's dad, Kendu Isaac, aka that man who cheated on Mary J during their marriage and is now getting spousal support for it. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Kendu was only with Brianna's mom for a very short while the two were teens. An oops baby blessing, if you will. To make a long story as short as possible, Brianna sought drugs after being kicked out, slept in a trap house, moved in with her trash poppy when he and Mary J were married, and sought refuge in Mary J, who was the best thing to have happened to Briana. Let her tell it. Needless to say, after the divorce, Briana was devastated and even gained a whole 30 pounds. Also, let Briana tell it, her daddy Kendu was never in her life. The two have less than 5 pics together, and he is still garbage till this day. If you've caught a glimpse at HBO's The Last of Us, you were either on the opposing side of Joel's daughter Sarah being semi-race swapped or here for it. HBO's adaptation of Naughty Dog's hit video game was received well by critics, and viewers immediately noticed a change in Sarah's appearance compared to how she looks in the video game. Well, not too much on Joel's on-screen child, because Sarah was played by Nico Parker, Thandie Way Newton's daughter. The resemblance is hard to miss when you really look at them. Being only 18, Nico's film debut took flight in 2019 when she starred in the live adaptation of Dumbo. Nico lived a pretty normal childhood away from the spotlight, but as her teen years come to a close, she is set to star in future films like the live adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon, set to premiere in 2025. Gorgeous, hilarious, charismatic, uber talented, vocally gifted, absolutely gorgeous. All that. This next young talent has been in the game for a little minute, but finally took full flight last year when her biggest hit to date, I See You, spread like wildfire across radio stations and the Clock app. Disney's biggest fumble and Jennifer Hudson's understudy, Coco Jones, isn't new to the whole singing thing. However, the recognition she's receiving is a well-deserved long time coming. With a supportive mama bear by her side, Coco, although not necessarily considered a Nepo baby, did come from a well-known parent. Mike Jones! Who? No, not that Mike Jones. I'm talking about the New England Patriots, Cardinals, defensive linemen, Rams, Titans, NFL defense Mike Jones. Having a well-known parent who isn't even a part of that entertainment sector can still aid in advancing one's career. However, we don't think this was Coco's story. Or was it? Now, this last Nepo baby came as a shock to me and may come as a shock to y'all as well, because who would have thought? The better half of the group, named after an AOL message abbreviation, LMFAO, had everybody laughing their butts off with their highly animated and colorful approach to music. Party Rock Anthem now sits at over 2 billion views on YouTube, and you can't list songs that define 2011 without mentioning the actual Party Rock Anthem. Other radio and online hits include the Lil Jon featured Shots. Talk about time flying! But did you know that Red Food, the one with the afro, and Sky Flu just didn't coincidentally get these smash hits under their Hot Topic-esque belts? Red Food's father is none other than Motown founder Berry Gordy. I don't think y'all heard me. I said Berry Gordy of Motown. Diana Ross, Michael Jackson and them Motown. And Sky Blue is the grandson of Berry. To throw a little extra razzle-dazzle in there, Mahogany Locks Mahogany Locks is also the granddaughter of Berry Gordy and the younger sister of Sky Blue. If you used Vine when it was poppin', then you already know. Or don't. Doesn't matter for real. So there you have it. Black Nepo babies who you didn't know were Nepo babies. Or did you? Let us know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. And stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.